CTV News with Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in Sarnia, where hundreds of people gathered for the funeral of the 20-year-old who was fatally shot last week outside of a Lambton College bar. Brian Bicknell has more on the grief bringing together a community.
Mourners arrived to the funeral for Dane Nisbet. Among them, Sarnia Councillor Adam Kilner and Sarnia Mayor Mike Bradley.
It's been extremely difficult for the whole community of Sarnia-Lambton. A tragedy that should never have happened. And we've come today, you can see with the overwhelming numbers, to honor this young man who was only 20 years of age.
Today, our prayers are with Dane and his family and his friend group and all who knew him and were connected to him. The flag at City Hall is at half-mast today in his honor. And we're going to continue to look to be a supportive presence.
The 20-year-old is remembered in his obituary as a perfect son who possessed fearlessness. Some 700 to 800 people inside the service, friends, family, acquaintances, teammates, all here to say goodbye to this young man whose life was cut short so tragically.
Absolutely moving. Yes, there's a lot of emotion, heavy hearts, but at the same time, a lot of light. I think Dane's passing has put something into all of us. I think it's brought us together.
City police controlled traffic around the busy Temple Baptist Church. The service was followed by a procession with a police and fire escort. Some supporters along the route employed a hockey tradition to pay their respects to the fallen hockey player.
And I just reached out to a bunch of people and said, hey, let's go out and tap sticks. It's typically what you do when an injured player is getting taken off the ice, and it just felt right.
Last Friday, Nisbet was shot and died of his injuries after the group he was with became involved in an altercation with another group at the Lion's Den pub at Lambton College. Police arrested and charged 3 people in connection with his death. A Canada-wide warrant has been issued for 24-year-old Kia Chin Do, who is charged with second-degree murder.
So we're hoping that our main suspect can be located quickly and that he can be arrested. The Canada-wide warrant is remains out. We're actively looking for him. We're partnering with our fellow police agencies across the province and across the country to see if we can apprehend him.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Sarnia.
An emergency room doctor testified today at the manslaughter trial against a toddler's babysitter accused in the child's death. With more on today's evidence at the London courthouse, here's Nick Paparella.
Dr. Brian Leminchik was working in the emergency department at Strathroy Middlesex General Hospital when 15-month-old Nathaniel McClellan was rushed in on October 27th of 2015. He testified, I heard a commotion, a scream or noise. I believe the mother was holding the child with a nurse there. He said with some bruising to his forehead, Nathaniel was unresponsive. He had a reduced level of consciousness. He was not alert. The doctor said the child was showing symptoms of seizures. In my mind, there was significant trauma to the brain. We ended up putting a neck brace on him. The court has heard the child would eventually be transported to Victoria Hospital in London, where he would die days later as a result of blunt force trauma to the head. After a drawn-out police investigation lasting several years, officers would eventually charge the child's former babysitter, Megan Van Hoof. The toddler had been at her home daycare in Strathroy on the day he was rushed to hospital. The 46-year-old Van Hoof has pled not guilty to 1 count of manslaughter. The lengthy case, which started back in September, resumes later this month on the 29th, with other court dates expected for this summer and possibly the fall. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Provincial authorities have announced an inquest into a man's death while he was in custody at Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre. Jamie Bridges was from Norwich. He died while he was an inmate at EMDC in November 2022. A statement indicates a date and location for the inquest will be determined later. The London Curling Club is opting for a makeover instead of a full-scale move. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in renovations are planned, and as Jerry Dewan reports, some of the work is already underway.
The curling season is done and the ice is coming out for another year. In recent years, club leadership contemplated leaving the Lyle Street facility, with the building actually up for sale at one point.
Significant work was done trying to figure out what we should do. But then we had a structural review done, and we are sound.
With that information, the club has now initiated a $300,000 renovation, with the bulk of that cost going toward a new roof. For decades, the curling club roof has been completely uninsulated. Changing that is going to mean considerable savings.
We're hoping within 5 years that it will pay for itself.
Ken Stenson is head of maintenance for the club and is project manager for the renovation. He says foam insulation has already been applied to the inside of the roof, and the focus will now be on the outside.
Steel roof is going on, so the longevity in that is going to be 50+ years. So we know that that's something that's going to protect everything inside the building.
Stenson says that will ensure more consistent conditions inside the facility as well, which is better for ice making and ice maintenance. At this point, the renovations are being paid for with membership fees, but the club is also hoping to improve accessibility, including a wheelchair ramp to the ice surface for those with mobility issues. For that, they'll have to look for additional funding, likely from government sources.
We have to procure some quotes and find out how much that's going to cost, and then see what revenue is available to us. I know that there are grants available to making facilities wheelchair access, and stair lift is the other option that we're going to put for the second floor lounge.
The London Curling Club was founded in 1847, playing outdoor games at various locations across the city, including the Coves. The club moved to the Lyle Street location in 1915. Stenson says making a move to a new home at this point may have cost the club an entire season with potentially disastrous consequences.
We more than likely would have lost probably up to 50% of our membership, so to other clubs in the area. Yeah. And that's tough to recover from.
Club leaders say they've also seen the struggles experienced by many in the Old East Village, and they're hoping to be part of a revival for the neighborhood.
It's a win for everybody, for our neighborhood here. This is our forever home, so we want to really invest in it.
The club has recently opened a new upper-level lounge and is planning for other changes to modernize the interior. They currently have about 500 members, but Stenson says there's capacity for approximately 700 members. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
City councilors in Owen Sound have voted not to send a bill to 23 people rescued from Georgian Bay last month after they got stranded while ice fishing. The motion before council would have invoiced the anglers $4,700 for the rescue operation. They became stranded on March 8th after a series of melting ice floes broke away from the shore. An OPP helicopter was used to extract them. Owen Sound's deputy mayor had brought forward the motion, but he actually ended up voting against it after council debate. Perth OPP say 3 people are in critical condition after a crash west of Stratford. They say it happened on Highway 8 this morning around 5:30. According to police, 2 vehicles were involved and the 3 patients were each taken to hospital by air ambulance. Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa is sharing her health journey with breast cancer. In tonight's edition of Healing in the Public Eye, she discusses the physical toll of chemotherapy and the words of encouragement she received at a recent community meeting.
Looking forward to seeing everybody. Have not gathered in community since treatment started. But treatment-wise, symptom-wise, pain management-wise, has not been a good couple days. We're back to the throat pain and not wanting to swallow. It feels a bit like sandpaper and glass. So between not tasting anything and pain of trying to swallow anything, it makes the journey and the nutrition part really hard. It has been really isolating and trying to be really responsible, but it's nice that you hear people that they're sharing their story, that they can relate, that it's helping them understand for when and if somebody in their life has it, they understand a little bit better or that they've been through it.
Some days you don't think you're going to get through. But the thing is, it's getting the awareness out and knowing that she also has support of people in the community.
I had prostate cancer before I became a city councillor. I also had colon cancer 10 years after, and for that I had chemotherapy. And I admire Elizabeth for doing this, because what she's doing, she's saying to people, this is what might happen to me, and don't be afraid. I want to live, so I'm going to take whatever necessary step it is to live longer.
The first 4 rounds have been a couple of different drugs. We switch next Friday. For me, in my mind, all bets are off. I know it's going to involve bone pain, at least bone pain. There's medication for it, and I think people understand it a little bit better with pain and pain management versus this burns, this hurts, I can't swallow. Knowing that the medication was going to be switching, it was really important to host the meeting now with community where I could manage the symptoms and still plan to be here, where I don't know what next week's going to look like after chemo. But I'm still here and community still gathers.
A local medical officer of health is resigning amid a provincial takeover of the region's health board. According to a statement issued by special advisors to Ontario's medical officer of health, Dr. Ian Era is stepping down from his role in charge of Grey Bruce Public Health. He's held that position since 2019. Back in August, the provincial government cited governance and leadership issues with the board as reasons for taking over control. The statement indicates Dr. Brittany Graham, a physician consultant with Grey Bruce, will take over Era's responsibilities in an acting capacity effective immediately. Bruce Power officials say they've signed partnerships with Western Canadian provinces. Company officials say the agreements with Alberta and Saskatchewan will facilitate consultation as those provinces look at building their own nuclear reactors. In Alberta, there are plans for a 4-reactor plant in Peace River, a small community several hours north of Edmonton. No specific site has been identified in Saskatchewan. Coming up, a popular fast food option will now be available at Canada Life Place. North American markets shot up today as the price of oil plunged on news the Strait of Hormuz is open. In Toronto, the TSX gained 294 points, and in New York, the Dow added 869, and the Nasdaq is up 366. The Canadian dollar gained 1/5 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold is up $71 an ounce, but oil lost $8.58 a barrel. Iranian officials say the Strait of Hormuz is now fully open, sending stock markets higher. However, President Donald Trump says Iranian ships remain blockaded until a final peace deal is settled. Adrian Gabriel has more on the breakthrough and what comes next.
This critical waterway has been a turbulent geopolitical flashpoint for more than a month. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil is shipped, has reopened. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi writing on social media that in line with the ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open for the remaining period of the ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump confirming the development as well, while posting on his Truth Social page that the naval blockade will remain in full force and effect as it pertains to Iran, only until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete.
It should pave the way for, negotiation to end this war. Or it could also be used just to put pressure on the United States with their blockade against, commerce coming out of Iran.
Prime Minister Mark Carney took part in a call with world leaders today on restoring freedom of navigation through the strait. His office saying in part that the Prime Minister stressed the importance of international cooperation to protect navigation rights and promote stability for commercial shipping through a defensive framework grounded in international law. While oil fell more than 10% Friday, the average price at the pumps for Canadians remains elevated. Gas price experts are predicting an 8-cent drop by Tuesday, though that's after an 8-cent spike across parts of the country expected tomorrow.
That's because of the switch to summer gas from winter gas. Then you have the drop in excise tax on Monday, and so everything's wish-washing around.
This comes as Air Canada announced it's suspending flights from Toronto and Montreal to New York's JFK International Airport from June 1st until October 25th due to rising jet fuel prices that are cutting into their profits. In Europe, the International Energy Agency says that continent has roughly 6 weeks of jet fuel remaining, with potential flight cancellations on the horizon as well.
It's going to take another few weeks, I think, in my mind, before we start seeing the big vessels coming through. And then it's going to take another 6 weeks on the sea to move things like aviation fuel to those countries that are running out of fuel as we speak today.
Any hope of peace and stability in these waters hangs on the ebbs and flows of ongoing negotiations. Those safety concerns do still remain in the strait. President Trump today claiming that the U.S. is now working with Iran to remove mines from the vital waterway. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Backlash against the premier today after provincial officials confirmed the government has purchased a private jet to accommodate Doug Ford's extensive travel. With more on the price tag for taxpayers and the reaction, here's Siobhan Morris.
It's a shiny new addition to Ontario's government fleet, a 10-year-old Bombardier Challenger 650 to fly the premier around on government business. The price tag, $29 million. A purchase that's left opposition leaders gobsmacked.
Doug Ford has gone from the gravy train to gravy planes.
It's excessive. It's extravagant.
I'm just outraged at how out of touch this premier is.
The premier's office is justifying buying the plane, with Doug Ford spending more time stateside to make the case against U.S. tariffs. There are more trips across Ontario and the country, meeting with Mark Carney.
I'm happy here with the Prime Minister. He's doing a great job.
Linking up with other premiers.
There's no justification. When people can't afford the price of milk or gas is $1.85 a liter.
While many federal cabinet ministers fly commercial, the premier's office explains Ford needs a more flexible, secure, and confidential way to travel.
There are planes that belong already to the government that he takes now. Frankly, he could maybe just take economy like the rest of us.
Not quite a year into his time as premier, Ford asked for a souped-up van to get around Ontario.
I'm the only premier in history that refuses to use the premier's plane, the King Air, that costs the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. I prefer to drive around and talk to the people about things that matter.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation finds the $29 million plane galling when Ontario is swimming in red ink.
They're borrowing $25.8 billion this year, driving up our total debt to nearly $500 billion. It's actually gross, and I think the vast majority of taxpayers in this province agree with that.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Good evening. Calm conditions overnight, tracking our next cold front that has prompted Environment Canada to issue a special weather statement. We'll talk about that after the break. Holly sent in this photo of her little Jack. And yes, Jack, if you're heading out for a walk in the morning, expect some rain and thunderstorms by about 8 o'clock. I'll have all your local forecast details on the other side of the break.
Julie Atchison joins me now. Now, Julie, I've been trying to get you to do the 75 hard challenge with me. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's a fitness challenge that includes 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes. One has to be outside, and now we have no excuse. It's beautiful.
Yes, we need some nicer weather to last a bit longer so we can really lock in. Because when you have to get outside, I don't want to run in the rain and I don't want to walk in the rain.
I know, me neither.
So we definitely need a good chunk of time where we can enjoy some outdoor dry time like we had out there today, Lauren. I'm in, obviously. A special weather statement in effect for all of southern Ontario, indicating the potential for some rainfall. Now, it's not heavy rain, 10 to 20 millimeters, but enough because the ground's saturated after all of the rain we received this week. So that stationary boundary leading to rounds of rainfall, and we have a bit more coming in tomorrow associated with another cold front. Our high today into the upper teens, our low temperature 9, basically a repeat out there tonight. The low pressure system now is located in northern Ontario, and that cold front swinging down from it. That area of high pressure will drift off to the east. We'll pick up that southerly flow tomorrow on the backside of the high. So what that means is the winds out of the southwest really start to pick up. So we will have some gusty winds, and then the rain and thunderstorms come in the morning, and it looks like to last through the early part of the day. So the first round anytime after 8 a.m. and then another round coming in about 11 to 12. And then the afternoon, the cold front, this guy, he'll cross and the temperatures drop off. So we'll look at it together on the forecast model. So there's the rain coming in. You can see 8 o'clock. So showers through the Bruce, Huron, Perth, and into Middlesex County. Oxford, it'll arrive a bit later for you. You'll just see some light rainfall. And then again, this is the cold front. That's at 1 o'clock. So we'll stay mild. That's when we'll reach our high temperature into the upper teens. And then late afternoon, the temperature starts to drop off. So we'll be into the low single digits and getting quite cold once again on a Saturday night. And that leads to the potential for some flakes of snow. Yes, as we head into Sunday. So we'll clear out overnight. And then first thing Sunday morning, conditions look nice, a mix of sun and cloud. But by Sunday afternoon, the clouds fill back in and the chance for some mixing going on just northwest of London. However, we could see some flakes across the area. Sunday does not look like a washout, so please be aware of that. Sunday will just be a colder day. So if you are planning to do some outdoor cleaning up, you might need to have your gardening gloves on. 9 degrees tomorrow, or rather overnight, Midwestern Ontario anywhere from 9 to 10. Your forecast: thunderstorms, southwest winds gusting close to 50 kilometers per hour, and then the high coming in at 19 will drop down to 8 degrees Saturday afternoon. Sunday, showers, the chance 40%. So again, not a washout, but it looks like the clouds move back in Sunday afternoon. So we clear out behind the cold front, then overcast conditions because that air flows over Lake Huron. It generates enough moisture to get us back into overcast conditions. Look at this. Mix of sun and cloud Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And daytime highs back into the upper teens as we head toward midweek. So that's good. Improving conditions and drying out. Showers, a chance of thunderstorms across Midwestern Ontario. So we have some rain, likely closer to about 10 millimeters. And then on Sunday, possibility of some mixing. It'll be cold to kick off the week, but temperatures are set to recover Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And yes, we're going to dry out and get out of that rainy pattern. Have a fantastic weekend. Lauren, I'll send things back to you.
Thanks, Julie. A new Chick-fil-A kiosk will open at Canada Life Place tomorrow. Officials say the partnership reflects the venue's ongoing efforts to expand and diversify food options for guests. They add that ensuring convenient grab-and-go options is a key focus. The kiosk will operate during select events. Stratford is getting back on track with the return of GO train service this summer. The province announced today daily round-trip service between Stratford and Toronto will begin July 6th. While the service will make it easier for commuters and students, officials are most excited about how this will connect the 1.7 million tourists the city sees every year.
I think about our tourists. Our tourists are 1.7 million tourists that love coming to Stratford and frequently love to come by train.
Metrolink says ridership and feedback will help determine whether schedule adjustments are needed once service begins.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
Finally, tonight we're launching a new series taking a look back at the history of the Forest City, marking London's bicentennial. In our first segment, the Victoria Steamboat tragedy from 1881, which put London on the map for all the wrong reasons. This is London 200. Here's Sean Irvin.
The Thames River flows through Greenway Park in London. Today, it is a spot of leisure. But a single standing plaque tells the story of a disaster that played out here. In seconds, the lives of nearly 200 Londoners were lost. But what became a terrifying scene had begun with a holiday cruise to mark the Queen's birthday. In the 1880s, steamboats dominated the Thames. At the time, water levels were higher, thanks to a dam at what we now know as Springbank Park.
There were various river boats that were operating on the Thames River, going from downtown.
And this was a case of let's try and not get folks going so much to Port Stanley, but to have them spend their money at home.
And May 24th, 1881 was the perfect day to escape. Riverboats were overloaded as a good portion of London's population of about 25,000 took to the water. The Victoria, designed to hold 400, was overloaded with as many as 600 holiday revelers departing on a return trip to London. Ken McTaggart wrote the book on the disaster, and in a 2007 interview, he detailed a premonition some passengers experienced.
The ship pulled away from the dock
And some people changed their minds, and by doing that probably saved their lives.
Still an authority on the disaster today, Ken recalled that the boat sat low enough in the river for water to splash over the deck.
When it ran aground, and the Louise that helped it, that should have been there, both came down on the way and saw the ship, and they both commented later that the water level was coming up about that far below the gunwales on the deck.
And when two men racing in rowboats approached, the path towards disaster was set.
Somebody said, "There's a race!" And they went rushing to the rail. And when you've got 400 people or more crashing to the far side of a flat-bottom boat, 22 feet wide, things are going to happen fast. And it tipped over violently, and people yelped out and screamed and yelled and said, "Quick!" And then try the other side and race. That was okay, except somebody forgot to remember the boiler in the ship was not fastened down and bolted.
When the boiler breaks, it basically explodes and steam comes out and it's scalding people.
The people on the lower deck are pretty well trapped. Many of them may have died of injuries right then and there, or certainly were trapped and drowned on the spot.
With some already dead, those in the water faced a grim fate. Most were children who in 1881 had never learned to swim. Some on shore would die trying to save the helpless. It would take days to recover all the bodies.
Counts differ about how many, 182, over 200. It doesn't matter.
The city actually ran out of coffins and had to bring coffins in from surrounding cities. There was really no accountability afterwards whatsoever, because both the captain and the owner were charged with manslaughter, but the charges were dropped. So nobody was ever held responsible for this.
But the people's trust in Thames River ferries was lost. The city soon laid streetcar tracks to Springbank Park. In time, the pain of the Victoria disaster eased, but its memory was forever etched in the 19th century history books.
We got longest coastline in the whole world. We have the Great Lakes, but the biggest maritime disaster in Canada was the Thames River in London.
Sean Irvin, CTV News.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.